Hi there, I'm Sherry Mall, and we are here today to interview Carla Komarek. She's one of our new residents. Hi, Carla.
Hi, Sherry.
I'm here to interview you and have you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'd love to. I was born in Great Bend, Kansas. It's a little town in the middle of Kansas, small town.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were Lavina Voss, maiden name Voss, Jurgensen, and my father was Alvin Jurgensen.
Okay.
And each of their parents were immigrants from Germany.
Okay.
And they came over in like the late 1890s, and they were farmers, both families. They came from the region of Germany called Schleswig-Holstein.
Oh, that's a mouthful.
It is. And I've never been there, but I understand it's in the northernmost region of Germany, almost near Denmark.
Huh.
And in fact, my Aunt Florence, my father's sister, always said we descended from Vikings.
Oh my goodness. You think it was true?
I think so. She was pretty honest.
So, how was your childhood and your schooling and all that?
I had a very happy childhood, graduated from Great Bend High School, and after high school I went to Hutchinson Junior College, a little college about 60 miles away from Great Bend, and I majored in business. I wanted to be a secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And my first job after Hutch JUCO was for a dentist. I was the office manager and dental assistant.
Oh, wow.
Both roles.
Wow.
I'm very busy. And then I married my husband, my high school sweetheart, Mike Komarek.
Mm-hmm.
And that was during the Vietnam War. And he enlisted rather than get drafted. And he enlisted in the Navy. And I joined him when he was stationed at Brunswick, Georgia, which is right on the coast, the Atlantic coast, and has islands around it, Jekyll Island, St. Simon's Island, Sea Island. So this was really exciting for a landlocked girl.
Sure, must be beautiful too.
It was very beautiful. And I got a job as the executive secretary for a resort right on the ocean.
Cool.
Yes, so I could look at the ocean all day or walk along the ocean. It was really wonderful.
Wow. Did you get perks from the hotel?
You know, I did in a way. If I had any company come, which was few and far between, they would give them a room.
Oh.
And I did have a friend come and visit one time, and she stayed. She stayed there.
Well, you moved back to your hometown at some point.
After the Vietnam War and he got out, he was honorably discharged. And he never did have to go over to Vietnam, which was we were very thankful for.
Oh, sure.
And it ended and we went back to our hometown, Great Bend. And he finished his education and he started working for a company called Western Atlas, which is a petroleum logging company.
Okay.
And he was a petroleum engineer.
Mm-hmm.
We started a family. We had 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
They were both born in the Sunflower State. And then he started getting transferred to all the oil states.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we ended up in Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness. Did you go back to school at any time?
Yes. When my children, we moved to Seminole, Oklahoma, was our first Oklahoma town. And my children were young yet, so I stayed at home, was a stay-at-home mom. But when we moved to Yukon, they were in school. They were elementary school age.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to get an associate degree in nursing. So I became an RN.
Wow. So what kind of work did you do as an RN?
I was always hospital work, always a bedside nurse.
Okay.
And I would say the main place that I worked at was Deaconess Hospital, which is no longer here.
Right.
But it was a wonderful hospital.
You like some adventure traveling?
That's what we got into. we still did it when the kids were young because we wanted to show them there's life outside of Oklahoma.
Right.
So we did some trips to each coast. We went to Washington, D.C. with them when they were school age and could understand the importance. And we went to California and we went to some of the national parks. But we really started traveling when my husband, when the kids were in college. Oh, let me tell you real quick about my kids. 2 boys. Josh is the oldest. He went to OU. He has a degree in history, but now he works for it's called Southern Star, and it's a pipeline company, and he moved away. He lives in Kentucky now. And then my youngest son, Stuart, is still here. He lives in Piedmont. He went to OSU and got a degree in marketing, and he is now working for Jazzco and very happy. They have each have wonderful wives, and I have 6 grandchildren. When they got in college, that's when my husband and I traveled. And we like to go to adventurous places.
Such as?
And stay at adventurous places. Wow. I'm trying to think of some of the places that we stayed. We tried to avoid the usual chain hotels.
Right.
And we stayed at a treehouse inn, bed and breakfast inn in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Beautiful.
Wow.
And we saw the great Teton Mountains when we were there and hiked those. We like to do adventurous things. I've stayed at a Hawaiian holly, which is a thatched roof hut, and that's on the Big Island in Hawaii. And that was wonderful. Let's see, where else? I have stayed at some, and I didn't make reservations for this reason, but some hotels that were haunted.
Oh, tell us about that, my goodness.
It was, I wasn't expecting it, but we checked into the Hotel del Coronado on Coronado Island near San Diego. And there was talk that there was a lady ghost because I guess she died at the hotel under suspicious reasons. And we unpacked, put all of our clothes in the closet, went to supper, came back, and just the closet had a very unpleasant odor in it. So I didn't want all our clothes to smell that way.
Sure.
Yeah, so I called the front desk, and they immediately, without question, moved us to another room.
Wow. Wow. So they knew there was a ghost in there.
I think they did. They wanted to see if she was going to be active for us. And then we stayed at another one, the Crescent Hotel, that's closer by. It's in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And it is supposed to have ghosts. And it was kind of an uncomfortable feeling when we went to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, my jewelry had been moved at my bedside. Like somebody had looked at them through the night. It was creepy. It was. But it was also kind of exciting. And we've, some of the things that we've done, we like to snorkel. We snorkeled around the dried tortugas off the coast of Key West. That was beautiful. Of course, we snow skied. We hiked. We liked to go to the national parks. Probably one of the most exciting hike that we had was at Zion National Park, and we hiked at a very, very small ledge. It was called Angel's Landing, and it was very high up, and we made it.
Wow. Were you scared?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. What else have we done? Oh, we in Canada, we walked on a glacier. And that was really interesting to see those crevices and look down to the bluest water you've ever seen.
Wow.
It's a blue that's unworldly. And that same trip, we took an inflatable Zodiac out, and we were going to whale watch. Well, one of them circled our boat.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, it was very close encounter with a whale. But we've really had a lot of experiences, and I'm so glad that we went.
Oh yeah. And you helped the mail?
Oh, that was a fun one. Off the coast of Portland, Maine, they have many, many islands with lots of people that inhabit them. And they have a mailboat that goes around that will take tourists.
Wow.
And so we got on that boat and we stopped at every island and delivered mail. It was really cool. All the town folk would come out to the pier and so it was really nice. It was exciting.
You survived a blizzard?
Oh, that I'd put under the category of most scariest time. We were coming back, this is when our children were young, and we were coming back from skiing the Rocky Mountains, and that's when we lived in Kansas still. And about 20 miles from home, we got caught in a terrible blizzard. You could not see in front of you. You couldn't even see the end of the car. But it was go. If we stopped, we probably would have ended up in a drift off of the road. So how we survived it is he looked out the side of his door, I looked out the side of my door. We followed the lines on the road. The road was clear because the wind was blowing so horrific and blowing the snow off there, and we made it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I see you made it. You're here.
It was close.
What brought you to Epworth?
Well, my husband died suddenly after a battle with leukemia. And he had a stroke. And I just did not feel comfortable in the house anymore. I did not want to do the housework. I didn't want to do the yard work. And so after a year, I started looking for places to move to, just for me. And one of the things at the top of my list was no winter.
Yeah.
After looking at Arizona and Florida, I decided, you know what, Oklahoma isn't that bad. And then I found Epworth. So,
Well, we're glad you did.
yes, it met everything, all my criteria,
That's great.
and then some. Yes,
Good. So we welcome you to Epworth Villa.
thank you. I felt very welcome.